All right, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans. Kind of an underrated, really interesting game. It's going to be starting off the postseason. This will be the first game, and I think a very exciting one. Let's start off with the chart we always start these videos off with. This is going to be the Cleveland offense that we're talking about in this video. If you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, yes, Joe Flacco, Andy Brown's offense, and that's what the asterisk is for the passing. That's 22nd best passing overall. That is not the overall numbers for the Browns, although they're only a couple spots worse. That is Joe Flacco's numbers. Although, slight thing to note, he's 22nd out of the 42 eligible quarterbacks, not just 32 eligible teams. So, again, that's what that asterisk is. Houston's covered well, 9th best coverage unit. And Cleveland, the receiving core has just not graded well at all. I mean, this is, it is. It's David Njoku, Amari Cooper, and then maybe you'll get some contribution from someone else, but it's those guys in the passing game. It really is. As for the pass blocking, Houston has a couple, I think, underrated pass rushers. They've been the 11th best pass rush team this season. Cleveland's offensive line is not, it's been banged up, and because of that, hasn't been as good as it usually is. Jonathan Greenard has actually had a good season, and he's been a real nice complimentary piece for Will Anderson, who's kind of been their number one guy, and Derek Barnett, who they brought in, has graded well in his 300 snaps. So that's kind of where they've been at. As for Cleveland, it's just the Jack Conklin injury really has they've struggled to replace him. They just have. And then as for the running game, run blocking 21st, run defense 16th, running 21st. So kind of mediocre really. But yeah, let's get into the film. Let's talk about, because this is kind of an interesting situation where these two teams played each other earlier in the year, and not just played each other. A lot of teams have played each other, but usually it's like, okay, this was, like for Tampa Bay versus Philadelphia, they played each other back in week 3. It's like, okay, how much do you really pay attention to that? These teams played each other just 3 weeks ago. It was Christmas Eve that they played each other, and the Browns won handedly, but there was no CJ Stroud in that game. So kind of, we got a pretty, interesting visual of how the Browns offense could attack this Texans defense, and it went very well the first time. This play, I mean, it's the Amari Cooper thing, right? Flacco has had such, great connection with Cooper. Something like this is exactly what they want to do. They're going to get him running a deep shot, and there is a safety deep, and quite frankly, if you're a safety and Amari Cooper is on your side of the field, you should be zeroed in on him. If you're a safety and Amari Cooper is on the other side of the field, you should be zeroed in on him, right? He means that much to this offense. You have to pay very close attention to him. I don't know, maybe worth more than a fifth round pick, in my opinion. Watch as Flacco is going to run this play action. The play action doesn't even really do a lot. It's just the safety does not get far enough deep with Cooper to where now there is a window. You have to be aware of this. If you're playing quarters coverage, you should be aware of this in general, especially with Cooper. You can't let this happen. As you see, Flacco is going to hit Cooper. Again, this was the Amari Cooper 265-yard game. So, and this is a excusable mistake. Amari Cooper is a great player. Amari Cooper is going to get some certain great plays. You're going to just take some of those. But, this is just, you can't let this happen if you're Houston. But for Cleveland, absolutely try to run this again and see if they do let it happen. Because sometimes, while a mistake seems obvious, it's still, in a course of a game, you can still make it. So, give it a shot if you're Cleveland. This next one also, kind of a interesting scenario. So the way this play is designed to work usually is the David Njoku route over the middle. That's usually where you're looking with a play action. You do have Cooper running a deep shot as well. Watch as Flacco's going to take the snap. He runs a play action, and, again, Njoku is open. I think most veteran quarterbacks are hitting Njoku on this play, but I think Flacco's saying, you know what, Cooper's got a one-on-one shot. Yeah, sure, I could pick up a first down, but I want more. Flacco is going to just throw one up, and again, right here, down the sideline, this is just a pure one-on-one matchup. Flacco's ball is good, and I mean, Cooper does a great job. And if you're just going to throw up jump balls like that to Cooper, well, if Cooper's going to hit him, it's going to be tough. You want to make sure you double him, but also what you can do is, if you're Houston, you're hoping you don't lose as many times as you did lose the first time you played. They did try a number of different guys on Cooper, but I think, I don't know, maybe try someone else or really just try to, double team him. Don't let him do what he did last time again. That's kind of the main point. Because something like this is a way that you can try and, make things work, where it's zone coverage and you see where Cooper is. Quite frankly, I'd be expecting a lot of this if I'm Cleveland. And my game plan would be designed to attack a cover 2 zone pretty frequently. I would have a lot of, I would have a plan of let's run the ball a lot because Houston's probably going to do this a lot. You see where Cooper is on the screen. Watch as when Flacco takes the snap, Cooper very quickly wins at the line. Flacco's looking in that direction, but here's the issue. There's a safety over the top, and so if Flacco makes that throw, it's still not wide open because of that. You don't want to put the ball in harm's way, even if it is a 3rd down and 10 and you want to make something happen. Flacco instead is going to throw a check down, which ends up getting dropped, and okay, listen, I'm not going to say every single check down is going to get dropped or anything like that, but the reality is that's a win for Houston. If you can make something like that happen, that's just, you're going to view it as a win. If they're throwing checkdowns to Kareem Hunt, in the year of our Lord 2024, you're happy. So that's got to be the strategy. And again, sometimes it's just simple stuff like this, where, again, you see the concept on the screen. It's zone coverage right here. Cooper is one of the players on this play. He's the guy they're going to try to get the ball to. Watch as, though, when Flacco takes the snap, the corner stays deep with the Houston player there, and you have a player over the middle who's covering up Amari Cooper on this play. So for Flacco, who wants to put the ball in that direction, it's not a great window. So this is what it's going to come down to. It's just understanding your assignment, understanding where you have to be in making those plays. Kind of, simple football stuff, really, but it's stuff they were able to do relatively well, I thought, outside of the notable bad Amari Cooper plays. As you see, Flacco, he's going to try to make something happen. Listen, an elite quarterback who outside the pocket, he's going to be able to do something like that, but covered well by Houston. Okay, you're not expecting too many playmaking type plays from Flacco, but what you want to do is you want to force him to have to do that, right? You want to force him to try to make something happen. To me, Amari Cooper, that is the point, the way this game works. Is if you can slow down Amari Cooper, you can slow down this Browns offense, but obviously it did not work out well last time these two teams played. All right, so let's get into the predictions page, why don't we? The Cleveland overall offensive points per drive on the season is just 1.85. However, Houston defensively also pretty good, 1.88. But the first time they played, it did not go well at all. 3 points per drive, which is, again, if you did that first season, it would be it would have been first in football, right? By a pretty decent margin, actually. So that's a lot of points per drive. That is not a good situation. Cleveland's overall numbers haven't been great. But it is, of course, worth mentioning that they've played a lot better as of late. And to me, it feels like it's pretty obvious what you have to do if you're the, Texans, is like, do whatever you can to cover Amari Cooper. He should be doubled every single time you can. And, honestly, you worry about David Njoku and you cover him and double him as many times as you can on top of it. Let someone else beat you. If Elijah Moore goes off, okay, you'll take that, right? Like that, it is what it is at that point. But like that's kind of the mindset. I think that's what they're going to try and do. Will it work? Well, I think it'll work better than it did last time. I'm actually going to go 2.2 points per drive. I'm still guessing a bit on the higher side here. It won't go as bad as last time, but I still think they will have an opportunity or two with Amari Cooper and with David Njoku. I also think that just the simple reality of going into the game knowing what your opponent is probably going to try and do, like everything that I said that Houston is going to probably try and do, I think they are going to try and do that, and Cleveland knows it, so they can try to scheme around that, which is a pretty big advantage for Cleveland. I still think it's what you should try to do if you're Houston, but there's that benefit as well. I think that maybe it is a bit of a bad matchup for Cleveland, and I do think that there's ways for this to work. And again, Flacco did throw 2 interceptions last time. Maybe you get some turnovers, but that is going to be my prediction. Will it be enough to win? Well, you'll have to stay tuned to part 2 of this video where I talk about the other side of things, the Cleveland defense versus the Houston offense. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.